Hey, beautiful people of the internet, how are you guys doing today? I hope everyone is doing great. Welcome back to some Warframe, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Grand Prime. But before I continue with the video, please Spartan kick that subscribe button for more Warframe videos. Let's head up to the simulacrum where we can take a closer look at this weapon. So here we are in the simulacrum with the Grand Prime in my hands. But before I go over the stats, let's talk about the recent damage changes that have just occurred. Alright, I'll post everything on the screen that I'm talking about, that way you guys can also read up on it. Now there's been a ton of updates, a ton of changes. I'm not going to be going through all of them because we're going to be here all day, if not all week. So I'll leave a link down in the description, that way you guys can click on it and read up on the changes yourselves. Alright. So the first change that DE states that they did was a change in slash. Each slash status has its own duration, but now we only show a maximum of 10 damage numbers in the HUD. Damage is unaffected by reducing how many numbers of events we show helps with performance. So in other words, slash has not been changed, even though I think that this slash has always been like this since day one. You know, each of them have their own duration. But hey, it's a welcome change. Next up we have a change to corrosive. The first corrosive status effect strips 26% armor. Subsequent corrosive status effect strips 6% more armor, leading up to 80% armor removal. Each corrosive status proc lasts 8 seconds. Note, corrosive was the only status with infinite duration and 100% efficiency towards the defensive stat. This was necessary to some based on armor scaled. We feel our rebalancing efforts need a differently behaving corrosive to balance out all status overall. That's good. I think this is an amazing change to corrosive. I'm actually very surprised on how DE's actually done this. Like, they haven't just nerfed everything to the ground and expect us to use, say, radiation or gas as the new meta. So that's good. Why this is good? Because previously corrosive would entirely strip an enemy's armor, leading it to flesh. The reason why this would be problematic was because when you stripped an enemy's armor and the enemy only has flesh, what would happen is that you would lose the 75% additional damage you would deal against armor. Corrosive against flesh deals, I'm not entirely sure what the percentage on it, but don't quote me on it, but all I know is that you won't be dealing that 75% against your enemy, your target. Instead, you'll probably be dealing 50%, losing 50 to 25% damage, or dealing negative damage, which is very bad. So that's good. And finally, we've got the changes to viral. Now, new status effect entirely. Enhanced damage. First viral status effects deal 100% additional health damage. Subsequent viral status adds 25% for a total of 325% capped. Note, before viral would have a target health pool and simply refresh the duration. Now it deals double the damage to health and can scale up to 4.5 damage to repeat damage status effects. So in other words, they've removed the viral health pool. You know, they removed halving the health pool entirely and just made it stack up to 325% damage. Alright, and finally we've got ourselves the status change. Now, melee prowess recently got buffed. Before it was 15%, now it is 90%. This is very good, gives us more variety. But now what this will do, another cool thing that they did was, we can now surpass 100% status. In fact, we can go up to probably 175 status, maybe 200 status chance. Now, what this will do is that surpassing 100% status will do this. Instead of proccing one elemental type per swing, one swing can proc 2 elemental types. So let's say for this weapon, I add corrosive damage to it. It's gonna proc corrosive and slash when I swing, if my status chance is above 100%. I hope you guys understand that. Let me repeat myself one more time. 100% status, above 100% status, will mean you'll do a double status proc. So in this case, if I add corrosive, I can proc both corrosive and slash in one swing. Alright, now that we've finally gotten those changes out of the way, let's go move on to the Grand Prime. I'm sorry everybody if that took too long, but I don't do misinformation in this channel. I don't do that. I stand by that. Alright, so let's move on to the stats of the Grand Prime. Now we've got ourselves impact, puncture, and slash, standard issue for any weapon you'll have in Warframe. So we've got 60% impact, 15 puncture, and 225 slash, giving us a total of 300% total damage. Slash being the highest, so we'll proc that the most. Next up we have a 32% stage chance by default. That's very good, along with a 32% critical chance with a 2.6 critical damage multiplier. This weapon is a beast by default. Let's go take a look at the build, shall we? Alright, now I've got about 2 to 4 builds for you, depending on how you guys look at it. I've got an elemental riven, I've got a pure slash build, and I've got 2 non-riven builds, but it's got 2 formas. So we'll do it for that. So, cleaving whirlwind, standard issue. We've got melee prowess. Previously this was 15%, now it's 90% for more status chance. We've got weeping wounds for even more status chance. We've got sacrificial steel for more critical chance. We've got virulent scourge for more toxin and status chance. We've got volcanic strike for more electricity and status chance. Condition overload for more damage for, per status type we affecting the target. We've got blood rush for more critical chance, and finally prime pressure point for more melee damage. Normal pressure point works as well, but I highly recommend you guys get yourself prime pressure point, and yeah, there we have it. There's the 100% status chance. Alright, next let's move on to the pure slash build. Alright, so the second build I have for you guys is very simple. So let's remove volcanic edge and volcanic strike, and we're going to add ourselves our 2 critical damage mods, that being organ shatter and gladiator might. Now here's your pure slash build. Okay, melee prowess, prowess and weeping wounds together along with condition overload is powerful. Okay, so take a look at this. My stage chance is 60% without weeping wounds. Weeping wounds will push it past 60%, will push it like past 100%. Now you don't need 100% past 100% status for your pure slash build, because what other element, impact and puncture won't be very useful on a slash build, or not even that, won't be any use for the targets. So don't worry about passing 100%. Alright, so take a look at the damage. I'll keep quiet. For a pure slash build, don't worry about passing 100%, just make sure you get between the 80 to 100%, that way you can always proc a slash. Okay, so we've got melee prowess for stage chance, weeping for stage chance, sacrificial steel for critical chance, gladiator might and organ shaft for critical damage. That's gonna push our critical damage multiplier to a 6.5 critical damage multiplier, along with condition overload giving us damage for every one of those slash procs. More critical chance is always good because bigger slash ticks. And finally prime pressure point for more base damage. That's all. So that's all you need to do. It's pretty much the same. You just make sure that you take out your elemental mods and you put these 2 on, giving you bigger values and bigger ticks. Alright, now I'm sure you guys want to take a look at my riven. Now this is just, I'm not showing off my riven to anyone, I'm just giving you guys information that a riven is worth it, trust me. On a weapon this broken, I'm surprised the Warframe community doesn't use it. So here's my riven. I've got 81% attack speed along with 262.9% critical chance, and doubled for the heavy attack. So let's go with the pure slash riven, shall we? Alright, so I've got my riven, here it is. Weeping wounds and melee prowess for more crit, more critical damage for organ shatter and gladiator might. We've got ourselves condition overload, blood rush and pressure point, more crit, more damage per stage, and more raw damage. Let's take a look. So here's my critical chance at 116.1%. Attack speed 145 without Valkyr's buff. So got attack speed, crit chance, status, condition overload, crit, and prime pressure point. let's move on. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I've got viral on this. Okay, now I've got corrosive on this. Let's put viral on, that way you guys can see how powerful viral still is. But I highly recommend you guys rather just use corrosive against these guys, because viral no longer halves enemies' health. That's why we would use it previously, because the slash and viral would work well together. The viral would eat away the enemy armor, and the viral would also halve their health. So whatever was remained from the viral, the slash just eats it away. Viral probably dealing less damage to these guys. So all of the builds I have for you guys, I'm going to go back and, you know, that way you guys can copy the build or use it as a reference. So we've got Gladiator Might, Organ Shatter for more critical damage, we've got Sacrificial Steel for more critical chance, we've got Condition Overload for more damage per status status type, we've got Blood Rush for more critical chance, Weeping Wounds for more status, Melee Prowess for status, and finally Prime Pressure Point for more melee damage. Now, this is for your 1 or 2 Forma budget build, not budget build, 1 or 2 Forma builds. If you want to do a pure slash with no Riven, if you want to take out, if you don't want a pure slash, then do this. Take these 2 mods off, this is your critical damage mods, and add your element, the element of your choice. So let's say I want corrosive, I want electricity, put it there, toxin, put it there, and I've got corrosive. And as you guys can see, my stay is at 99.2% without the help of Weeping Wounds. Okay, let me just show you that I can surpass 100%. It even shows you on the stats. So let's add Drifting Contact. Look at that, 112% status chance. So yeah. But if you want my honest opinion, don't do that. Don't put Drifting Contact on. Replace Drifting Contact with Weeping Wounds if you want more stays. I mean, listen, Drifting Contact is good. You know, it can keep your combo counter up in the missions, but you know, if you're going to be one-shotting the enemies anyways, so you know, I don't see why you need to try so hard. And yeah. If you guys want to know about to get yourself a Riven for this weapon, I highly recommend. That's a big fat yes. Because as you guys can see, the stats are ridiculously high without no negative, and the disposition's at 5. One of the very few weapons, might I say. But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's video. I hope this helped. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video. Spartan kick that subscribe button for more Warframe video. I'm gonna make like a banana and split.